In a world of instant gratification and constant distractions, mastering self-discipline is more crucial than ever. But what exactly is self-discipline from a Stoic perspective, and how can we cultivate it to achieve inner peace and personal growth? Welcome, inspired Stoics. Today, we're diving deep into a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, self-discipline. As we explore this powerful concept, we'll uncover its roots in ancient Stoic teachings and discover how it can transform our modern lives. From the writings of Epictetus and Seneca to the meditations of Marcus Aurelius, we'll draw upon the wisdom of the great Stoic thinkers to guide us on our journey towards greater self-mastery. Self-discipline isn't just about willpower or resisting temptations. It's a fundamental aspect of living a virtuous life, aligning our actions with our values, and finding true freedom in a world full of chaos. So let's embark on this exploration together and unlock the transformative power of Stoic self-discipline. 1. The essence of Stoic self-discipline. Self-discipline in the Stoic tradition is far more than just the ability to resist temptation or stick to a routine. It's a profound philosophical concept that lies at the heart of living a virtuous and fulfilling life. For Stoics, self-discipline is the art of aligning our will with reason and nature, enabling us to live in harmony with the universe and our highest ideals. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic teachers, emphasized this when he said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This mastery begins with recognizing that while we can't control external events, we have complete control over our responses to them. It's about cultivating the inner strength to choose rational, virtuous responses over impulsive reactions. Consider for a moment the last time you faced a challenging situation. Perhaps it was a conflict at work, a personal setback, or a moment of intense temptation. How did you respond? Did you react impulsively, driven by emotion, or were you able to pause, reflect, and choose a response aligned with your values? This ability to pause and choose is the essence of Stoic self-discipline. But why is this so important? In the Stoic view, our ability to exercise self-discipline is directly linked to our freedom and happiness. When we lack self-discipline, we become slaves to our impulses, external circumstances, and the opinions of others. We react rather than act. We follow rather than lead. And we live at the mercy of fortune rather than by the strength of our character. On the other hand, when we cultivate self-discipline, we gain the power to shape our lives according to our values and principles. We become proactive rather than reactive, choosing our path instead of simply responding to circumstances. This is what true freedom means to a Stoic: the ability to live according to one's highest ideals, regardless of external conditions. 2. Delayed gratification, the cornerstone of Stoic practice. In practice, Stoic self-discipline often manifests as delayed gratification, the ability to forego immediate pleasure for long-term benefit. This concept is not unique to Stoicism, but the Stoics elevated it to an art form, recognizing it as a crucial tool for personal growth and virtue. Imagine you're faced with a choice. You can either watch your favorite TV show now or spend that time working on an important project. The TV show offers immediate pleasure while the project requires effort but will bring greater satisfaction and benefits in the long run. Choosing the project over the TV show is an exercise in delayed gratification and Stoic self-discipline, but it goes beyond just personal habits. Stoic self-discipline extends to emotional regulation, decision-making, and even our interactions with others. For instance, when faced with a challenging colleague, self-discipline allows us to respond with patience and understanding rather than anger or frustration. It's about consistently choosing the higher path, even when it's difficult. Seneca, another prominent Stoic philosopher, wrote extensively about the importance of delayed gratification. He argued that true happiness comes not from indulging our every desire, but from mastering them. He said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." In our modern context, This could apply to our constant connectivity and the temptation to always be checking our phones or social media. By practicing delayed gratification, we learn to be present in the moment and focus on what truly matters. Moreover, the practice of delayed gratification builds resilience and strengthens our character. Each time we choose the harder but more rewarding path, we're reinforcing our ability to do so in the future. It's like building a muscle. The more we exercise our self-discipline, the stronger it becomes. 3. Voluntary discomfort, building mental toughness. One of the most powerful tools for developing self-discipline is the Stoic practice of voluntary discomfort. This involves intentionally putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations to build resilience and self-control. It might seem counterintuitive. Why would we choose to be uncomfortable? But the Stoics recognized that this practice had profound benefits for personal growth and inner strength. Seneca, who we mentioned earlier, practiced this regularly. He would dress in simple clothes, eat plain food, and sometimes even sleep on the floor. The goal wasn't self-punishment, but rather to remind himself that he could endure discomfort and didn't need to fear it. By voluntarily experiencing discomfort, Seneca was preparing himself to face any hardship that life might throw his way. We can apply this principle in our modern lives in various ways. Taking cold showers, fasting for a day, or deliberately avoiding our favorite entertainments for a set period are all examples of voluntary discomfort. These practices strengthen our will and remind us that we're capable of more than we often believe. For example, imagine deciding to take a cold shower every morning for a week. The first day might be shocking and unpleasant, but as you continue the practice, you'll likely find that you become more resilient. You might even start to appreciate the invigorating effect of the cold water. More importantly, you'll have proven to yourself that you can do hard things, that you can endure discomfort when you choose to. This mental toughness translates into other areas of life. When you're faced with a difficult task at work or a challenging personal situation, you can draw on the strength you've built through voluntary discomfort. You know that you can handle discomfort, that you're stronger than you thought. Moreover, voluntary discomfort helps us appreciate what we have. After sleeping on a hard floor, your bed feels more comfortable. After fasting, you appreciate your food more. This gratitude is another key aspect of Stoic philosophy, and it's closely tied to self-discipline. 4. The virtuous path. Self-discipline and character. Self-discipline in Stoicism is closely tied to the concept of virtue. The Stoics believed that living virtuously with wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control was the key to a good life. Self-discipline is what allows us to consistently choose virtue over vice, even when it's challenging. Consider the virtue of honesty. It's easy to be honest when telling the truth is convenient or beneficial. But what about when telling the truth might cost us something? A job, a relationship, or even just someone's good opinion of us? This is where self-discipline comes in. It takes self-discipline to speak the truth when a lie might be more convenient, or to stand up for what's right when it's easier to stay silent. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote extensively about the importance of staying true to one's principles. In his Meditations, he constantly reminded himself to act with integrity, regardless of how others behaved. This requires tremendous self-discipline, especially for someone in a position of power where the temptation to compromise one's values can be strong. By practicing self-discipline, we're not just improving our personal habits. We're cultivating our character and moving closer to the Stoic ideal of the wise person. Every time we choose the virtuous path over the easy one, we're strengthening our character and becoming more aligned with our highest values. This doesn't mean that Stoic self-discipline is about being perfect or never making mistakes. The Stoics recognize that we're all human and will sometimes fall short. The key is to use these moments as opportunities for learning and growth, to pick ourselves up and recommit to our principles. For example, if you lose your temper and say something unkind, a Stoic approach would be to acknowledge the mistake, apologize sincerely, and then reflect on what triggered the outburst and how you can respond better in the future. This process of continuous self-reflection and improvement is at the heart of Stoic self-discipline. 5. Finding balance. The Stoic approach to self-discipline. It's important to note that Stoic self-discipline isn't about rigid control or suppression of natural impulses. Instead, it's about finding balance and harmony within ourselves and with the world around us. The Stoics recognize that we are part of nature and that fighting against our natural inclinations entirely is neither possible nor desirable. Marcus Aurelius captured this idea beautifully when he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This strength comes from the ability to direct our thoughts and actions purposefully, rather than being at the mercy of every passing whim or external stimulus. It's about being proactive rather than reactive, choosing our path instead of simply responding to circumstances. Consider the Stoic approach to emotions. Unlike some philosophical traditions that advocate suppressing emotions entirely, Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge our feelings while not being ruled by them. It's about finding the middle ground between being overwhelmed by our emotions and being completely detached from them. For example, if you receive criticism at work, a Stoic approach wouldn't be to pretend you don't feel hurt or angry. Instead, it would involve acknowledging those feelings, examining them rationally, and then choosing how to respond. You might ask yourself, is there truth in this criticism? How can I use this feedback to improve? What's the most constructive way to respond? This balanced approach to self-discipline extends to all areas of life. It's not about denying yourself all pleasures or pushing yourself to the point of burnout. Instead, it's about making conscious choices that align with your values and long-term goals. It's about enjoying life's pleasures in moderation, working hard but also resting when needed, and striving for improvement while also accepting your limitations. Epictetus summed up this balanced approach when he said, "Seek not that the things which happen should happen as you wish, but wish the things which happen to be as they are, and you will have a tranquil flow of life." This doesn't mean passively accepting everything that happens, but rather focusing our energy on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and responses, while accepting with equanimity those things we cannot change. To recap, and as we've seen, self-discipline is a fundamental aspect of Stoic philosophy and practice. It's the bridge between our intentions and our actions, the force that allows us to live according to our highest values. By cultivating self-discipline, we gain greater control over our lives, build resilience in the face of challenges, and move closer to achieving inner peace and personal growth. We've explored how Stoic self-discipline manifests in delayed gratification, helping us make choices that benefit us in the long term. We've discovered the power of voluntary discomfort in building mental toughness and appreciation for what we have. We've seen how self-discipline is crucial in cultivating virtue and strengthening our character. And we've learned about the importance of balance in the Stoic approach to self-discipline. These principles, while rooted in ancient philosophy, are incredibly relevant to our modern lives. In a world full of distractions and instant gratification, the ability to exercise self-discipline is more valuable than ever. It's what allows us to stay focused on our goals, to build meaningful relationships, to contribute positively to our communities, and to find genuine fulfillment in life. Conclusion: remember, developing self-discipline is a journey, not a destination. It requires consistent practice and patience. Start small, perhaps with a daily meditation practice or by intentionally delaying a small pleasure. Gradually increase the challenges you set for yourself. With time and practice, you'll find that self-discipline becomes not just a habit, but a way of life, one that brings clarity, purpose, and tranquility to your days. As you continue on your Stoic path, let self-discipline be your constant companion, guiding you towards a life of virtue and inner strength. Embrace the challenges as opportunities for growth, celebrate your progress, and be kind to yourself when you fall short. Remember the words of Epictetus: first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. In cultivating self-discipline, you're not just improving yourself, you're contributing to a better world. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is good for the hive is good for the bee." By mastering yourself, you become better equipped to serve others and to face life's challenges with grace and wisdom. So, inspired Stoics, I encourage you to take the lessons from today's exploration and apply them in your daily life. Start small, be consistent, and watch as the power of Stoic self-discipline transforms your life.